Welcome back to WSSEA Smash Brothers. This is week 1 of the new season, brought to you, of course, by the Washington Army National Guard. I'm here with my co-host, Captain, and today we have East Valley High, the Red Devils, versus John R. Rogers High, the Pirates. Now, this is kind of a battle of the east side of Washington. East Valley did join WSSEA in 2021, and they've had success every single season they've participated in. They made the playoffs in multiple titles and seasons, with Rogers joining in 2022, having a strong spring season, making the playoffs in Smash. And now they're back and they're eager to face off. Captain, I don't know how much Smash you've consumed recently, right? But man, that last season was intense. And we actually have a new system coming this time around. Last season we had doubles and everything going, but now we have a kind of a 5v5 kind of crew battle system, but each 1v1 is going to be segmented into a separate one. And I'm curious to hear from you. What kind of characters do you think we're going to be seeing this time around?
Now, you see, this is where things start to get interesting, because the thing about Smash is that I feel like the meta changes more in Smash than in any other esport, so you really never know what is really going to be seen. For a prime example, and you know what, I have consumed a lot of Smash, actually, and it's really funny because currently, where I'm from, we have, of course, Louisiana Smash, and right now one of our biggest front runners is Kirby Kid. If anybody's familiar with Kirby Kid, they are the #1 King K. Rool player in the world. Hats off to the homie. I can't though because my headset is on top of it, but still figuratively hats off. And lately they've been running the Louisiana Smash, of course, coming in first place, but not only are they bringing King K. Rool to the table, but they have also been bringing in Banjo and Kazooie, which is a pick I never thought in a million years would be effective at anything. And then sure enough, it's actually starting a trend where I'm seeing more and more Banjo and Kazooie at both, at all levels, high school, collegiate, and even in the competitive levels. Banjo is becoming more and more picked. So it's crazy to see like how the character selection really changes as Smash continues to grow.
Banjo and Kazooie in 1v1s, you're telling me?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's not at all what I expected. Maybe doubles, I could see that working, but in 1v1s, that's wild. Banjo and Kazooie, from what I can tell, his neutral game definitely seems a little bit lackluster in comparison to the characters higher on the tier list. Characters like Steve, Sonic, Fox, stuff like that. He just seems a little bit slower, and I'm impressed to see him being able to keep up.
And now you see this as for anyone who doesn't know, this is my first time here at WSSEA. Right, WSSEA, and I do cast a lot of Smash throughout the community, so I'm wondering here, maybe you can fill me in, way too, Dan, as to, is WSSEA one of the Smash communities that have banned Steve?
You know what? As I was mentioning Steve, I was thinking the same thing. I have no idea.
Oh no.
I probably should have checked in before this. I have no clue. Frankly, I think Steve should be banned.
Oh, what? Absolutely, 100%.
He's got to go.
He's got to. I'm sorry, but put him back in the box.
We're going right in. Whether he's banned or not, thank God he's not here. We have Jigglypuff versus Mario. We got the Red Devils, of course, in red. And starting off very quickly here, he's already coming out with the projectiles. I love Mario myself, and he's going to hop in and immediately hit that sleep. Not able to get the forward smash, though, and they will get the shield out. He's able to finally grab. He's yet to get hit on the Pirates here. Finally takes a little bit of damage. The fireball comes through, and he's just trying to hit some pounds with the shield. Just keeps blocking now. Captain, what do you think of this matchup? Because I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Honestly, I haven't seen Jigglypuff before in competitive play. I'm familiar with Jigglypuff. I was there in 1997 when Pokemon was debuting, and I know full and well who Jigglypuff is. But as far as competitive Smash, no, I have not seen much of them. And with that being said, Mario, on the other hand, we all know Mario. Whether you play Smash or not, you're going to know who Mario is. But in the world of Smash, Mario is like the default brawler. And again, being able to come through with a massive first stock elimination just goes to show how many players truly know the mechanics of Mario without even having to be a real expert. Not saying that they're not. I'm just saying that you see a Mario, and more often than not, they do well.
Absolutely. Now, I'm a melee head, right? I'm big into the melee competitive scene, and in that scene, Jigglypuff is a menace. Right, Jigglypuff is like the player Hungrybox, very dominant with that character. The setups with rest, the up throw rest, the pounds and everything, the way they're able to juggle, their air mobility is incredible. And in this game, I've definitely noticed a bit of a lowering in terms of tier list placements for that character, and you can see why. The fact that they're so floaty, they're able to be carried around the map, especially by a character that's as nimble as Mario. It can make it very difficult for them to keep up, and that's likely why we're seeing the 3-1 stock lead for the Pirates here on this Mario pick. I'm loving the colorway as well. And unfortunately, Jigglypuff just can't seem to keep up, able to land that pound, but it's not quite going to do it. 140%. Jigglypuff trying to catch him out with his sleep, but it's not quite going to happen. Unable to get the punish, and you can tell they're struggling here, and I'm just wondering, how do they have to switch up their game plan to figure this out? You might have to find out in the next game.
Yeah, I think we're going to, have to postpone the finding out part. But the messing around, definitely we're able to see a glimpse of that there in game number 1. And also, just to, kind of further the conversation here, I think not enough respect is put on Mario. You see the tier lists all the time, and it's usually in the B tier. I would say Mario easily A tier brawler, and even in certain conversations, I think an argument can be made for S tier. But again, I digress. And by all means, if I'm capping, say captain's capping, because I often do. But with that being said, I still don't think enough respect is put on Mario. They are the default brawler, and they are one of the best brawlers in Smash. And not only that, but they are also a comfort pick, because so many people are used to playing Mario. And because their controls and their mechanics are easy to learn, it makes it that much easier to progress with them competitively, which is why I think Mario is a little bit slept on in the Smash community.
I can absolutely see that, and once again, I play Melee. Dr. Mario is my main in Melee.
Mario. I hate Dr. Mario.
It's my understanding that he's like the worst character in Ultimate, and that makes me so sad. But to see that Mario's doing pretty well, I mean, it's basically the same moveset, right? It's pretty close, so I'll take what I can get, I suppose. I love watching Mario play, especially with the up airs. Oh my gosh, the ability to up air combo even into Nair as well, to just fast fall into Nair like we're seeing right now, right as I'm saying it. He's listening to me, I think. He's getting some live coaching at the moment. Once again, going for a rest. He's unable to punish, though. That just keeps happening. Yeah, I overall love watching Mario play. Not as big of a fan of Jigglypuff, and I think it's clear why. He's trying to get his footing here at the moment. It's just not quite happening, Captain. I'm wondering, what does he have to do differently in order to catch him out?
Right now, Jigglypuff just needs a buff. Like, if we're gonna be honest, if there is anything that Jigglypuff can do right now in order to take on this Mario, they're gonna have to get a buff. And for example, I think maybe the radius of their song should be expanded. I think it's too close quarter to where you can't even utilize it. So you're inevitably, I don't want to say making Jigglypuff useless, but it definitely puts them at a disadvantage when you're playing with a speedier, heavier melee character like Mario.
I absolutely agree. That's the thing. You either increase the radius of that song, or you give her a little bit of that air mobility back that she had back in Melee. Typically, it's only on the first jump, but without that, it's incredibly difficult to follow up with any kind of nair, bear, anything to that effect. It's just, you can't really keep up when you're trying to juggle somebody and take them off of the stage a lot of the time. You have to already be extremely close, and that just puts you at great risk because, I mean, Jigglypuff, they might be short, but the hitbox horizontally isn't very small, and you're able to exploit that on a character like Mario, especially with kill throws like that one. Very close to finding that immediately, but he will get the rest. It's just not going to be enough, and it will cement that stock for the Pirates. Man, what else can you really do? He's able to throw that flower onto him, but it's unlikely he's going to find much with it. More Nair combos coming out in up airs as well. Man, yeah, you're absolutely right. Jigglypuff does just need that buff. As much as I can't stand that character, I got to admit, there's just something missing here, and it's sad to see.
Well, absolutely, because, we've seen time and time again throughout this match is that, the song itself is a real double-edged sword, because if you can land it, great, you're going to get a free smash, but on the other hand, if you miss it, you're leaving yourself open for an attack, and there you have it. The last stock taking off of Navi King will give the second round win to Mario yet again.
There we go. That will be 2 points, I believe, to Rogers High. As we have it, we have Game 5 here that we just played, right? That's going to be 2 points. Going into Game 4, now East Valley is going to choose the map going into the next one in order to maybe give an advantage to their teammate, whatever they prefer. We're going to be swapping out these two players, bringing these next ones. This next game will also be worth 2 points. So at the moment, Rogers is up 2 points. They are in the lead. And East Valley is hoping that in this next game with two new players in a 1v1 matchup, they might be able to score those points back and bring it back to a tie. You
Well,
know, my biggest fear here, Captain. My biggest fear is they're going to bring in the little Mac. It always happens. It always happens. And I'm sorry, he's just not good. I love him.
what?
I love him. He's just not good.
I think there's a level of finesse you have to have at Lil Mac. You know, I'm not going to say that he's not good. I have seen some recent play with Lil Mac that, you know, I was like, okay, you know, I could put a little bit of respect on Lil Mac. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're an S tier pick by any means, but I think in the right hands, they could definitely be an effective character, especially when you are down a certain percentile. Just having that knockout capability to really turn a match around is one of those kind of like X factors that gives Lil Mac a competitive edge. Again, it's not enough to make them like a meta pick, but it's enough to hold their own. So it would be interesting to see if we do see a Lil Mac pick, but at the same time, I kind of want to see some more zoning characters. And with that regard, I'm talking about Pac-Man. I don't know why, but Pac-Man just hits different for me whenever the fire hydrant goes out, or even forbid you get the bell. If you get hit by the bell, you're done. It's it. It's over.
I've seen one too many Pac-Man SD with that fire hydrant. Like, they push themselves off the map and then they air dodge thinking they're safe, and they're just not. And they go flying, but I don't know. Last season, it was doubles, right? We had 2v2s, and we saw a lot of Little Mac play. And that's just not the place for Little Mac. Singles, sure, you can make them work, but watching them try to work in doubles, it was painful, because every single time they'd find themselves falling off the map with no recovery. This is different, though. We do have an Ike now versus the Jigglypuff. Ooh, able to land that song. They are going to find a little bit of damage there, but it's not quite going to happen. They rest out of nowhere. Not sure what that was for, and he's able to find that up B as well. He's going to hit it a second time. This time getting shielded out. I love seeing Ike play, Captain. Oh! Carried off of the map. The Jigglypuff player for the Pirates now. That was fantastic. Wow, I did not see that coming. But now the setup comes through. The roll comes out as well. Ike... I'm not sure how you feel about Ike, Captain, but me personally, I love watching him play.
Now, you see, it's a bias for me just because I favor sword users. Like, any type of sword character, I'm all there for. My favorite, actually, just to give a little insight, is Kid Link. I think Kid Link is, without a doubt, S-tier sword user, one of the best sword users in the game. But with that being said, Ike, of course, was one of the first characters brought in from Fire Emblem, and since then they've become a staple for sword users. So I agree with you. I love watching Ike go to work, but right now against this Jigglypuff, it seems that it may not be working.
Yeah, no, you see that first stock be taken immediately, and then you gotta wonder what's gonna happen, right? Because while Jigglypuff is a lot lighter than Ike, it's clear that he's a lot slower at the moment too. He's trying to recover, he's trying to use all of his special abilities, but that drill and duress is just going to be too much for him. Pile driver, ironically, with that name, is the one that's pile driven into the ground, and then immediately Meteor. Jigglypuff taking that first game quite handily as well. I think, you know, I'm not sure it's going to be close coming into this next one. I do have faith, though. I do have faith that we might see something unique coming out. You know, whether it's a character switch up or a strategy switch up, I think there might be something up Pile Driver's sleeve here.
Now, you see, I just got to point out something cheeky that we just saw from the Pirates. Again, that Jigglypuff's name was RHS Pirates, right? So whoever that player may be, can't help but notice that at the end they used rest again, and it's just going to show that they are literally sleeping on Ike. Like, it was the cheekiest thing. You know, instead of like going for a straight up taunt, they was like, no, I'm just gonna rest. I'm gonna sleep on Ike real quick. And you know what? I get it. I understand. And especially when you have a Jigglypuff v Ike matchup, like you had said, Ike is a little bit slower. Jigglypuff, of course, has the speedy characteristics. We saw the offstage double, and the whole reason that we're talking, like, I wanted to mention that offstage juggle all the way out into the blast zone is because Ike's recovery is not that good. So if you take this fight off stage, Jigglypuff is going to take that fight hands down.
Absolutely, yeah. The second they go off of stage, you just... Again, Ike is such a heavy character, and that recovery, it's so linear, so predictable. It's frightening, really. Just to see him go, especially right now. Oh my gosh, he's already at the edge of the map. The rest will come through. The setup, fantastic from the Pirates here. It just keeps happening. I'm scared. He's unable to keep up. He's just not fast enough right now. So much damage coming out, but it just doesn't seem to matter. The setup goes through, unable to land that rest, but it's not quite going to take a stock just yet. Lots of damage. He's trying to bait him in. They go for another rest once again. Captain, I don't even know what's happening anymore. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Yep, well, you know what? I can imagine that Power Driver is getting a little nervous as well, because whenever you think that it's safe, it's clearly not. Jigglypuff right now is a counterattack specialist, and I think a lot of it is coming from pretty much just jebaiting the Ike out, and then, Power Driver, of course, trying to jebait those rests out from Pirates, but, it's a real battle of the counterattacks right now, and it seems as though that Jigglypuff is getting the upper hand.
Absolutely. Right now, it seems like Ike is just trying to hold the high ground, avoid these rolling attacks. He's scared of the moment. He's trying to just avoid taking any damage from below, but he needs to move off of this platform right now. He's just going to keep getting juggled, I'm afraid. Oh, no. We're watching a fish flounder out of water at the moment. He's just trying to avoid it, but he's able to land that forward smash. Not quite going to take the stock just yet. Great move with that recovery. He's able to take that stock, taking it back somewhat to even, but immediately after the forward air comes through, and Power Driver losing another stock, now taking it 2 stocks to 1 for the Pirates here. He's able to land a bit of a side B. But once again, he's just running away onto the platforms, just trying to dodge, trying to set him up here. Maybe he can get him to the ledge. The drill comes through. He's trying to find another rest out of match, and as he just slowly walks away, forward B comes through. The recovery, a little bit more damage. Oh, he's going to get carried once again to the side. Jigglypuff able to finish it with that back air, and that's going to be the second match. The second match completed there. Another 2 points coming out for Rogers, I'm afraid. Man. Yeah, I'm not sure what I could have done differently there.
Pick Roy. That was something they could have done. And, we talk about Ike, and, because Ike, don't get me wrong, a fantastic pick, clearly has brought in, like, a new wave of sword users in competitive Smash. But I really think that with the introduction of Roy, they kind of have eclipsed Ike as far as the pick rates go. You're seeing more and more of Roy because they are just as strong as Ike and faster. And that's what really makes a huge difference. And I think Jigglypuff was simply outpacing the Ike, and for full intents and purposes, that was actually Ike's round to win because it was a flat stage. It was a flat surface. They didn't have to go to the air. They didn't have to rely on their recovery, where Ike has a shortfall. So for what it's worth, Ike really should have had an advantage going into that one because that Jigglypuff, as you could see, is a lot better off stage than they are on center platform. So I feel like Ike definitely could have came out in that game on top. I feel like they should have won that round.
In fact, I mean, it was their own teammate that decided on that map, so they definitely had that in mind going into it. They know their teammate plays Ike. They want to give him that advantage. And unfortunately, they just weren't able to play quick enough. That's really what it came down to. A lot of the time, Ike trying to find any kind of opening. He was just a little bit too late to the draw, and Jigglypuff was able to exploit that. The Pirates, they were just too fast. Ike going down, unfortunately, to that. And now it looks like we are going to get the Roy that you wanted, but it will be for the Pirate side instead of East Valley. And it's going to be against a Bayonetta. Now, this isn't Smash 4. Bayonetta's not quite as powerful as they were, but still, there's plenty of combo game available here on this Battlefield stage. I do expect to see quite a lot coming from a character like Bayonetta, especially against a Roy, because while Roy is a bit more solid, I would say, able to hold it down, once that Bayonetta starts going, they get going. Like, they carry momentum quite a bit. Unfortunately, that momentum will be taking them off of the stage, already losing a stock. Pirates able to take one immediately here. It's Roy playing with the Nair, playing with the neutral, trying to keep him down. Great tech, able to get out of that. Not even sure what that is, to be honest. I'm not sure if that's an up B or not. But you might be a bit more of an expert on Roy than I am. Tell me, Captain, how exactly are you meant to play Roy? Is it more of a neutral game thing, or are you meant to juggle them off the stage? You go for spikes? What are you trying to find with a character like this?
You're going for damage. You're putting out smash attacks. Roy has one of the biggest knockback potentials out of all the sword users, and they are absolutely insane. And on top of that, we have already mentioned that their speed is such a big factor, especially going up against a player like Bayonetta, because Bayonetta, a lot of their abilities require perfect timing. And when you're trying to time those attacks perfectly, it is even that much harder to do it against a character like Roy, who can punish you even more so than other characters when you miss your timing. So you have got to be extraordinarily careful going up against our boy Roy, as they have become to be known in the Smash community. That's our boy Roy. And now they're looking down the barrel of a 3-stock win right now over Boingo Cat.
It's definitely looking to be that way at the moment. It's my understanding that Roy, compared to Marth, he doesn't actually have the sweet spots on the tipper, does he? However, he does have a like much larger potential for just standard hits that are going to get consistent knockback versus having to be precise and getting that higher risk, higher reward that Marth has. So I think a lot of the time I can imagine Roy being a safer pick compared to a character like Marth, and unfortunately that recovery might be one of his weak points. He's not quite able to get back to that angle. A little bit difficult to find, but still has quite a bit of a stock lead here. 2 stocks to 1, 70% as well for the Bayonetta on East Valley's side, and I'm not sure what they can do to bring this back, Captain. I'm really not. They just seem to be getting caught off guard, and that looks like it's going to be it. Wow. Yeah, going into match 3 here, they are already going to find that. This is stressful, to say the least.
I mean, that's our boy Roy. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't want to say that's how I expected that one to go down, but I will say that I'm not surprised. And, we did see the biggest weakness, the Achilles heel of Roy, and that's their recovery off stage. Much like Ike and, several sword users, Link excluded because their recovery is decent, Roy's recovery, not great. So if you're able to get Roy off stage, you're going to find a victory. And the way that you could do that is with either using a zoning character, or you can even use a more speedy character, someone like Greninja. Greninja's offstage presence is absolutely insane. So if you can go Greninja and actually know how to use them well and force them off stage and keep them off stage by using water shurikens or, any type of projectile that just, kind of can edge guard, then you're going to get the advantage over your boy Roy. But unfortunately, Bayonetta, I don't think has the arsenal equipped in order to get the upper hand over Roy.
Yeah, I won't lie. I definitely felt like a little bit of a counter pick there. That was definitely very difficult for a character like Bayonetta because while they can put out a lot of damage, they just might not be quick enough to find those openings against a character like Roy, who is already so incredibly fast. Roy also has decent range with that sword. It's not easy to find stuff like that with a character like Bayonetta. So going into a match like this against Roy, he's able to find that forward air straight into the nair, juggling the Sora. It's not easy, but he's able to find some of these homing attacks, immediately going for a bit of a recovery. I'm not sure what his plan is there, but he's able to find some damage anyway. Slightly whiffing on that F smash by that Roy, but he's able to bring it immediately back. He's holding it down with those up tilts all the way at the side of the stage, and now, gosh, you see how fast they're playing right now. This Roy especially, he's just so quick. Sora barely able to keep up at the moment, but it's still just enough. Wow, yep, going straight into that neutral jab. It's not easy, right? It's not easy playing against a character like Roy. It's just so incredibly fast, so oppressive. But he's able to find some of these right now with his recovery, bringing it right back to even. Now, Captain, I'm not sure how much you know about Sora. I haven't seen a lot of play from him. What do you think about this matchup? Does this seem about even to you?
It breaks my heart. Honestly, just because I am a Kingdom Hearts stan, so I absolutely love Sora, one of my favorite characters in video games, actually. But in Smash, as you can see, they're not that great. They have their moments. Finally we did see Sora get a win in a big Smash LAN, which was great to see. They popped the confetti cannons, which was really fun. Finally Sora getting some work done and representation on the big stage. But overall for the meta, Sora's not it.
Yeah, I won't lie. It's not really looking like it. They seem to have about one move in their arsenal at the moment.
It's a good move.
It's definitely a good move, and they're proving that right now, finally taking a stock off the Pirates. However, the extra credit that Roy will get, about 72%, I can imagine he's going to use that to great success here. Sora, while they're using that move to decent success at the moment, I can imagine they're going to need to find something else because, I mean, eventually Roy's just going to start reading it, and they're going to start punishing it. They're just going to play it against it, hold down that shield, and just immediately find another stock. Roy, just so much knockback, no matter what percentage you're at here. This character compared to Melee is fantastic. He's one of the worst characters in Melee straight up, and now Roy able to find his footing in a game like Smash Ultimate, and you can just see it happening right now. Sora just trying to fly away, trying to find somewhere to be safe, trying to find somewhere to hide, but it's just not happening. Trying to find a little bit more damage as well, but just immediately shielded. There we go. He's able to find it once again. Unfortunately, he's not able to find a combo. Trying to hide onto this platform. The Pirates on this Roy just dominating at the moment. He wasn't able to get quite close enough to hit that F smash, but a perfect parry will come through into the F smash. And he's going to find that's not a sweet spot necessarily, but that one might just be. Finally taking that stock, and that's going to be another game going to the Pirates here. Sora, a little bit too floaty, not quite fast enough. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and again, it's not what I expected, but I'm not surprised, much like the first bout, because of course it is our boy Roy. And then also on like the default map of Smash, which is just Pokemon Stadium 2, everybody's favorite, should be, in my opinion. But with that being said, it's really hard, like you said, to go up against this Roy, because in order to get the upper hand over Roy, you have to take him off stage, and it's really to do that with a Sora. Now, their best opportunity with the Sora pick is to try and get them off stage and then hit them with the Thundaga. Like that's your best opportunity, because when you have that Thundaga, it strikes in threes, all horizontal, so it kind of like pushes them out even further, and it also deals a good bit of damage. And if you can get Roy out like far enough, you don't even have to put them in the blast zone, you just have to put them far enough to where they can't recover. They won't. Roy's recovery not that great. So again, if you can just get them off stage, hit them with the Thundaga, and then maybe you can get the upper hand over Roy. But as you can see, that Roy coming from that team was simply not allowing it. You have to get Roy off at center stage, and that wasn't going to happen against that Roy.
Absolutely not. He's just so incredibly quick, this player. And you can just see him reading everything, too. Like, the second he sees his opponent move, he knows when they're going to jump. He knows when they're going to roll. He's got everything down at the moment. So this is going to be a player to look out for sure. I wish we had a specific name to put to him. We're just going to call him the Roy player, I guess, because they're playing on the same account, the Pirates. So he's just the Roy, and it happened. It happened.
But against a
my dreaded
Pyramithra.
little Mac. Is this a counter pick? Because it's my understanding that Pyramithra is one of the best characters in the game, Captain.
Word. I mean, definitely the
pick.
best definitely the best zoner for sure. I mean, and then like again going up against Little Mac, I mean, you have to keep in mind Little Mac, they rely on getting in close, and the way that Pyramithra is just so good at taking advantage of the distance and their reach, I think it could be a counter pick to Little Mac. But the problem is right now is that Little Mac, when they do get in close, they just deal out massive amounts of damage.
Actually, come to think of it, I've seen Little Mac hit Pyramithra like twice, and they've already taken a stock. This is what I want to see. I'm a boxer, right? It's like a hobby of mine in real life. So going into this game, I'm like, oh, I want to play Little Mac, absolutely. And I just couldn't see him working. So to see good play like this from a Little Mac, even if the stocks are even at the moment, this just gets me so excited. Look at him go. Oh, man, the dodge roll comes through. He's able to find that shot from behind as they're tossing out their sword. The Pyramithra trying to zone at the moment, but Pirate's able to get in close. Great side B coming out as well. They're going to come down with a slam, though. That's unfortunate, but he's just so incredibly fast, crossing that stage immediately. He's trying to hold it down. That recovery makes me so upset. How is this a move, Captain? How did they allow that? Are you kidding me? What is that anime move that comes out? That's just a million slices coming through, and they're able to find another stock with that. Captain, explain to me. How is this allowed?
It's the uwu move. I don't know what to tell you. It's you beware the uwu move, okay? You have got to watch out. It is definitely devastating. But with that being said, Little Mac's still holding their own pretty well. I mean, they're taking the fight center stage. They're forcing the edge guard, but there it goes. It's the uwu move. You got to be careful. The range and the spread is absolutely devastating. But if you can counter it, it is literally just leaving them open for damage. And that's what we have seen this Little Mac take advantage of time and time again.
I'll say it. They need, well, I mean, it's way too late now, and he's already potentially going to find that stock. Not quite going to happen. He's holding down for the edge guard, but man, that uwu move, that thing's got to go. It's got to go, but it's not going to matter because Pyramithra will go with it. Little Mac taking the first stock for the first game, I should say, for the Pirates in this best of 3. I love to see it. Despite playing an S-tier character like this one, at the top of the tier list, Little Mac still able to take it. This is filling a void in my heart, Captain. It's filling a void. A black, dark void that was left there.
I mean, I'll keep it $150. If you can beat Mike Tyson, you can beat anybody. So, I mean, we got to put respect on Little Mac. But with that being said as well, after that matchup, clearly this person knows how to play Little Mac. They have that knowledge. So that, to me, also goes a really long way when you're going with that character. Because if you the best way I could say this is that my number one rule above anything is that it's the comfort pick over anything else. So you have to go with the character that you feel that you are best with. As long as you can do that, then you're going to find some measure of success. So, I mean, maybe this is just their character and nobody can play it like they can.
It's looking that way. The jab resets as well while the Pyramithra players on the ground. Vol already losing a stock. A 0 to death for Pirates on FD. Wow. I did not expect that so soon. You see how quickly he's moving here. My question is to you, Captain. Could Little Mac beat Matt from Wii Sports? I don't think so. I'm sorry. He could take Mike Tyson, sure. I don't think he's beating Mac here.
The question is, can they beat Wii Fit Trainer?
Wii Fit Trainer. Ooh, I mean, it's one thing you can do here. You can settle it in Smash, and that's exactly what the Pirates are doing right now. Pure domination, 7-0 at the moment against East Valley, and frankly, at this point, it looking like it might be about the same. The KO punch is ready, and he's going to be looking to find it. Val being juggled into the air. Decent F smash, though. Will it be enough? Trying to zone a little bit with that sword. It's going to come flying back in. That flaming sword doing quite a bit of damage. He's trying to spot it once again. He's able to land it twice in a row. The perfect parry comes through, and Little Mac finding that opening. He lost that KO punch, unfortunately, and he will be spotted out there. Not able to go, not able to take that stock just yet for Val, but it is going to get damn close. Looking for that counter. Not quite going to happen. Avoiding that ledge guard. Doing quite a bit of damage. He's looking to take another stock here, making it 3-1. Going to be close, able to dodge it, and he will find it. Val unable to take a stock just yet here, 127% on that Little Mac. He finds that counter. Yes, the KO punch, and he's going to land it. Oh, a 3-stock coming out from the Pirates, and they're going to take yet another best of 3. Man, it's pure domination, Captain. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, they definitely have done their homework. I'll give them that much. I mean, they clearly are finding the right picks for their team, and it's clear that they know the ins and outs of every single character they pick. And I just want to go on the record stating that whatever move that Mithra is using is not called the Uwu move. It's just something that we just came up with on the spot for that moment. So if you're, don't go out into the universe and be like, yeah, man, I'm about to hit him with the Uwu move. Yeah, no, that's not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we started something. I have no idea. But regardless, it was a Little Mac being able to really close the gap on a lot of those zoning plays that we saw be attempted by the Pyramithra, trying to keep that distance. And unfortunately, especially on stages like Final Destination, it's going to be difficult to do against Little Mac.
I completely agree. And also, I'm glad you gave that little disclaimer, because don't call it the Uwu move. I'm sorry, we're setting you up to get bullied. And we don't want that. This is not an environment where people should be bullying each other, but if you call it that, you're asking for it. All right, going into this next game, man, I don't know what they can do. I really don't. At this point, I don't know if the math is adding up for them. Is it possible to come back? I'm not sure.
I'm liking the matchup that I think I just saw. If my eyes doth not deceive me. Let's go. Byleth's winning. Sorry, calling it. Byleth won. GG's.
You think so?
Byleth is Byleth might be the best sword user. Honestly, Byleth is absolutely insane.
I agree. Fantastic character. MK Leo has shown what Byleth is capable of, but you got to remember, Pirates is on the Crom, so I mean, really anything could happen. We've seen from Pirates so far, it seems like they're capable of anything with any character. I'm waiting to see a Dr. Mario. Frankly, I need that representation. It'll happen. Come on.
I mean, it does happen. I've seen Dr. Mario twice this week in competitive Smash, and both times they lost.
Oh, I was about to say, you got to link me. You got to put me on something, but I don't want to see my boy lose.
I'm sorry, Dr. Mario does not hit an ultimate. And also, it's just funny that, we talk about it, and it's one of the things that I love about Smash is all the subgenres we have, because, you said that, you come from a Melee background, whereas mine, first of all, again, showing my age here, I'm repping the OG 64 Smash community, played on the...
Ooh. All right, might just be on my end. Seems to have cut out a little bit. You good there, Captain? Doesn't matter. All right, great start coming out here.
Back.
Oh, welcome back. Okay.
Whoopsie.
You were saying?
Well, I was saying that I'm an OG on the original 64 Smash. That's where I come from. But in the modern age, my background is Brawl and Ultimate.
Yep. My first game, my first Smash game, I should say, was Brawl. Right on the Wii, playing with the nunchuck. I was a Falco Sweat. Right. I went in. I was like, I want to go fast. I want to beat people up. Mostly just my sister.
Oh,
just playing that Falco.
You're gonna have to
specify
phrase,
in Smash.
Yeah, yes.
Specify beating my sister up in a game of Smash Brothers. Not in real life. Not hitting her with the Uwu move in real life. I can assure you.
Oh no.
I mean, Pyramid are not even in that game. Thank God. So yeah, okay. Focusing back now. Let's refocus a little bit here onto this game at the moment. This is closer than we've seen for the most part. Right, we do have two stocks at the moment. Chrom getting a lot of damage here, despite being at 124%. Brilliant, trying to run away on this Byleth. Maybe you get that final hit in because Byleth just does so much damage, and at 134%, they could definitely find a killing move here. And that's exactly what they're going to find right now with that up smash. Able to connect it on that platform. Chrom losing that stock, and now they're looking to bring it back to even 86%. On this Byleth, but they're starting to find that neutral air. They're trying to set him up, able to get that micro spacing. I swear, we're watching MKLeo play at the moment here, Captain. We're seeing a renaissance at the moment.
It definitely does seem that way, but that's the thing about Byleth. You got to watch out for the whip if you're going above, and if you're going off stage, you got to fear the spear. That spear is probably one of the best edge guard mechanics in Smash. It is absolutely devastating when it lands, and it makes it that much harder to recover. And again, over a character like Chrom, who already has a little bit of a questionable recovery off the rip, it just makes it that much harder when you're going up against a Byleth.
Absolutely, but Chrom showing that he's not afraid, taking that next stock. Now bringing it 1-1 here. However, 91% on the Pirates here. Byleth, it's definitely their game to win. Oh, great hit, almost knocking out that shield entirely. The amount of damage coming through for one attack. Byleth trying to set it up here. Bit of a short hop into the forward air. Not able to hit, unfortunately, there for him. Oh, lots of damage though. Chrom off the stage, trying to set up with the bow and arrow. It's not quite going to connect. Chrom trying to bring it back. Bit of a reversal here, 76%. He's starting to bring it back to about even. Gray shield. And he's going to break it. Byleth setting up to finish the game, and he will find it.
Oh, you'll love to see it.
It finally happens. East Valley taking a game here in this best of 3. Question is, can he carry the momentum into the next one? Will the Chrom be picked once again? I can imagine the Byleth is going to stick around. Wow, I'm happy to see something being brought back for East Valley. Captain, what do you think Rogers has to do differently on this Chrom, or maybe even just find a better pick?
I'm not sure, but first and foremost, I have to say that Captain called it. Byleth wins, hands down. I'm not going to say easy dubs, but, it was an easy prediction. I was in there. I even put my face on hand, was like, Byleth. That's it. It's
no
right.
doubt. Byleth.
Oh, yeah. And come to find out, Captain was, in fact, not capping in that one. But regardless, if you're going to try and counterpick the Byleth, it's usually throwables. Throwables is, I think, one of the best maneuvers to get to a Byleth, and it doesn't even have to be good throwables. Bring Kid Link in there, and you know what? You're going to have the boomerang. You're going to have the arrow. You're going to have the bombs. Oh, my goodness. Give me a character with some bombs, and you might be able to do the deed against Byleth. Again, the bombs on Byleth go brazy. Too many B's in one sentence, but you get the picture. Just bring someone who has that extra versatility and a decent arsenal, and then Byleth isn't that big of a threat. They're definitely a scary character, but when you have a character that can really, take that zoning, take that pace, and take the spacing away from Byleth, they're not as scary as you thought they were.
Absolutely, because, their greatest strength, obviously, is getting in close and hitting with that spear. So if you're just tossing bombs from a mile away, just some projectile spam, it's going to be a lot more difficult for Byleth to find that. And Isabel, I won't lie to you, not super familiar with a character like Isabel. I'm not exactly sure how many projectiles they have, if any, really. So the question is this going to be the kind of pick that they need in order to counteract this Byleth? Ooh, look like they might just have one. They're able to knock him down immediately here into the net. Oh, the combos are coming through. This might be more of a comfort pick for the Pirates.
It could be, and I'm right there with you. I am completely unfamiliar with this character. If I was to even venture a guess, I would say that this is a Nintendog. Is that where this character is from? I have no idea. That's how little information I have about this character. But I gotta tell you, they're definitely making some impressive strides against this Byleth.
I want to say Animal Crossing is what Isabel's from.
Yeah, probably.
Pretty sure, looking at that symbol right there, that might just be it. They do have some projectiles on hand as well. Looks like they have a bit of a... I'm not sure if that's what is it called? Right, like the thing you pull back that kids always have in those like 80s movies.
A
They, like,
slingshot?
slingshot. Thank you.
Oh my god, I'm so old. That slingshots are now not commonly known.
No, it was just me. I can assure you that it was just me blanking like a fool. Yeah, no, it looks like Isabel has a bit of a slingshot. Oh my goodness. Fantastic backhand coming up off of that ledge. Able to bring it even there. 2-2 right now for the Pirates and for Brilliant. But now this Violet, he seems to be a little bit more confused at the moment. It makes it a little bit hard to find his footing. He's looking for these short hop back airs. But Isabel a little bit shorter of a character, making it more difficult to land those off of the short hops. Because, I mean, short hop, while it is a short hop, it's not quite as short as they need it to be in order to land those. Their timing needs to switch up just a little bit here with these nairs as well. They're just trying to find some openings, but Isabel always backing away. Now, the damage looking pretty even, trying to pull him off of the stage here. That one's going to be quite close, actually, with that fishing pole. Oh, man. I don't even know what's going on, to be honest. They're just throwing out moves randomly. Looking for the majority of this is just going to kind of be of a neutral game here. They're just kind of playing with each other, trying to feel it out. Trying to see who has what at the moment. Yeah, not a lot of aggression coming through, but every once in a while they land something and it just kind of looks like they're going to fall apart here. At any moment, something big is going to be found and the stock will be taken. I'm not sure what's going on here, Captain. I'm really not.
Now, you see, if you had given me like a little bit of time, you know, to this point where I actually got to see the moveset of Isabel, then I would have definitely been able to tell that it's Animal Crossing, because it's literally the same moveset as Villager. Like, that much I know. Like, I know Villager, okay? So
Yeah.
I know that makes sense. But Isabel is still relatively new to me, and it's because of moves like that. Their off-stage ability is insane, and their recovery is extraordinarily good, especially with those balloons. So when they go off stage, they definitely do get an upper hand advantage.
That, what they just did with the fishing pole, pulling to the side of the stage and smacking them into the side, sending them off immediately. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in this game. Just jumping off of ledge to land that. That's a little bit of cheese. That reminds me of the Donkey Kong play of grabbing them, taking them off the side, and just throwing them against the stage. That's a classic. That's a Smash staple right there. Just a little bit of cheese. Love to see that. Trying to catch him off the ledge once again. Brilliant. All the way at 92% in this 1v1 last stock situation. Question is, can Isabel finish it off here? It's going to be very, very close going to this game 2. Oh no. He's able to find it with that spear. A little bit of a swipe there, but can he get another? Not quite going to happen. Putting him into the net. 131. He's trying to catch it back up, but no. It will fall all the way off of the stage. And now they're going to make it 1-1 in this best of 3. Taking it to a final game. They were able to find the counter pick there, Captain. They did it. They found the Isabel.
And you know what? It actually makes sense to me, because, you know, I'm thinking to myself, you know, again, projectile zoning is what's going to go well against a Byleth. And, you know, of course, me not knowing Isabel, unfortunately, I do know Villager. And it also brings to question that Isabel didn't even use the greatest move in their arsenal. We saw it 1 or 2 times, but not nearly as often as we see with Villager, and it's the Hydrant. That Hydrant, absolutely devastating, and has the most knockback potential, I think, out of any of Villager's moves. Again, if I'm capping, say Captain's capping, I could be mistaken. But we didn't see that from the Isabel. They have the ability. It's there. They brought it out maybe 1 or 2 times, but they didn't use it a lot. They did bring a little bit of the cheese, like you said, with the fishing pole off stage. That's fun. But, you know, I want to see more Fire Hydrant, you know, and if they can work around it and not have to use it, great. But I think they would even do better if they were to make use of it.
I completely agree. You'd think they would use more of their arsenal. I mean, it's absolutely one of Isabel's and Villager's best moves are Echo Fighters, after all. So, I mean, the lack of Fire Hydrant is concerning, but they're able to win without it. So, at this point, I feel like they're making a statement, you know? Like, they're coming out, they're saying, you know what? I don't even need that move. I can win without a little bit of BM, but Byleth trying to show that they might actually need that Fire Hydrant after all, because, wow, almost taking that stock immediately there. And they're able to snipe it. What a find from Brilliant. Only 50% at the moment on this first stock. They're able to take another one. Great find right there, trying to knock him out once again. Almost bringing it back to even, getting quite a bit of extra credit going into this next stock. Isabel suddenly not able to keep their footing at the moment. Already off of the stage once again, going to a disadvantaged state immediately. Decent bit of confetti, but it's not quite going to land. The shield coming through for the Bile, and they're just keeping him on the disadvantage at all times. The cheese once again, he finds it.
Giga.
Wow. Giga Chad. That is ridiculous. Are they able to recover, though? It's looking like it will happen. Decent recovery. But they're still at 109. Great bit of extra credit for the Bile here. The net comes through. They're trying to find a bit of a juggling combo with those up airs now. Captain, I don't know if you're seeing the same thing that I'm seeing here, but it looks like Isabella is just always on the back foot, and they're just unable to get to a point of aggression.
Well, you see, what happened was that, you know, Brilliant, who I think is the name of the Byleth playing currently, they started to lean forward. They took that first L, and things got serious real quick. You can tell now that they're playing a lot more towards the edge. They are timing their shots a little bit better, and we're seeing more guards. A lot more guards and a lot more counters. So I think this is the moment where I don't want to say that they're sweating, but they're definitely taking this Isabel pick a lot more seriously.
Yeah, suffice to say, if they went outside right now, someone would assume that they went to the gym. I think that's what would happen right now. Like they could probably fill up the shallow end of a kid's swimming pool.
Ooh.
Woo. It's closer right there.
Actually.
Decent. Not as gross as the Uwu move.
Oh,
all right,
yeah, you're right. You got me there. You got me there.
Great bit of a recovery there coming out from the Byleth. Brilliant now with a stock lead at the moment, but they do have quite a bit of damage on them. Isabel trying to find an opening right now, but that down smash able to cover both angles as they fly off the stage, putting him into once again another disadvantaged stage. Unable to get that ledge guard there, but he is able to get that nair coming off, knock him off to the side. Brilliant recovering once again. Ooh, great grab from that fishing rod. Not able to land that slingshot, though. It's going to be very, very close. The parry comes through. Oh, he's able to avoid the confetti, and right now it's just block after block. Not able to get that up smash, but he will find it the second time, and that will be the game and the match. Once again, Rogers taking yet another best of 5. Or, sorry, best of 3. Wow.
I mean, you got to give Isabel credit, though. I mean, they definitely made probably the biggest impact I think I've seen on a Byleth in quite some time. I'll be honest, more time I see Byleth come out, it's usually a one-sided venture, you know, unless we do see, like, you know, a trick being pulled out of the hat. And I think Isabel was that trick. I mean, I don't think any of us saw Isabel coming out and putting up that much of a fight against Byleth. That was impressive.
Man, East Valley, sorry. East Valley took that. But Rogers will be winning the week. Wow. I'll say it. Domination. For the most part there. It's just back to back to back. East Valley able to take that last one, but they'll take the week. Fantastic play coming out from Rogers, especially on that Roy. Oh my goodness. Love watching that Roy play. The speed, the aggression, the precision, it's fantastic. I can imagine you loved it too, Captain. Roy is your boy, from what I can understand. Being able to see that Little Mac play as well. That made me so happy to see. 11-4. Rogers able to take it. I mean, I don't even know what to say. That blew me away. And seeing 1v1 playing this season now, that gets me so excited as well. Last season it was all doubles, and being able to see these 1v1s, it's the purest form of Smash, in my opinion. So I could not be happier. Captain, I mean, how do you see it going throughout the rest of the season here? Do you think Rogers is just going to take it? Just going to keep that domination going?
And you see, this is the best part about, you know, Smash Leagues in general, is that you have a lot of time to make improvements, and that's what really sets apart the weak from the weaker from the chap and the better from the best, is, you know, seeing your shortcomings and then being able to adapt and react and make the appropriate changes needed in order to become a better team. So that's what I expect to see coming out from every team, not just teams that are on the up end or teams that are on the down end. Every team should be going back, reviewing their plays, seeing where they fell short and where they succeeded, and then capitalizing on that to try and make themselves better players. So do I see that this already, just from this one day that I have been here, that Rogers is going to take, you know, just literally ride a wave of momentum all the way to the promised land? No, because you never know what's in store, and you never know what changes can be made, especially coming from this team today, who I can guarantee learned a lot. And with that being said, I also learned a lot, because my favorite scenario, my favorite ending to this entire thing was the fact that in game number 1, or, you know, in the earlier games, we saw Jigglypuff lose to Mario, and then immediately afterward we saw Jigglypuff beat Ike. And to me, that was the greatest happenstance in Smash I think I have seen yet.
It's just, you never know what you're going to get with WSSEA Smash Brothers, and that's why I expect everybody will be coming back next week to check out WSSEA Smash Brothers once again, same time on Thursday. And also make sure to check out League of Legends next Tuesday at about 4 p.m. Pacific time. All right, thank you once again to Seattle Built PCs for sponsoring this event as well. And thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Way Too Dan. And we got Captain as well.
Oh, you wanted me to do it? Yes. Captain at Soka, yes, has been here as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week.